Hi everyone and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Jonathan. Today we're going to talk about something that I'm personally quite interested in. We're going to talk about using computers to create pictures that look real, but actually they're not real at all.
Oh.
Maybe you've seen funny pictures online that you know can't be real.
Sure, I've seen a lot of kind of funny Photoshops. Is that what we're talking about?
Not exactly. Yes, you can see things like that. For example, I saw a picture of American President Joe Biden flying around in a full Batman outfit.
Nice.
Now, that was something that somebody made on a computer. But what if the computer could make a picture by itself?
Whoa, that's getting into almost science fiction sort of areas here. But that is what we're going to talk about in today's article. How a computer can create a picture all by itself. And the pictures, they're really good, right?
Yeah. These pictures look very real.
All right, let's find out how this works by reading through the article.
Reading. Images raise questions about what's real and what isn't. Want to try something fun? On your computer or phone, open the website thispersondoesnotexist.com. You'll see something that appears to be a photograph of a person. However, this picture isn't a photograph at all, and the person is not real. It's an image created by artificial intelligence. The website uses an algorithm to examine a huge number of real images. Information from these images is then put together by using an advanced neural network to create a completely new image. What's more, this technology is not limited to faces. For example, one company has been using it to develop new anime characters. The technology has been used in education, police work, advertising, and even video games. It's especially useful for keeping the identity behind a picture unknown. There are negative sides to this technology, however. It could also be used to create fake pictures to support someone's political view. The ability to create images that look real will also change how people view pictures and whether they trust what they see.
So the article begins by kind of giving us, the reader, a chance to check this thing out first. It says, want to try something fun?
On your computer or phone, open the website thispersondoesnotexist.com.
Okay. So what we're talking about here is a website.
That's right. A website is when you open a web browser, such as Google Chrome or Safari, and then go to a location on the internet, such as google.com or youtube.com. That is called a website. So an example sentence would be, Costco is pretty far away from my home, so I order their things online using their website.
Okay, and a website could be a collection of lots of pages, right?
Yes.
All under the same, I guess we call it a domain name. Is that the right term?
Yeah, that would be the right term.
Okay, so you go to this website, thispersondoesnotexist.com, that's right. And if you go there, the article says, you'll see something that appears to be a photograph of a person. You click on it, you open it up. It's a photograph. It looks like it's a photograph of a person. That's why we say appear. To appear seems like in this case. It means it seems like it. It shows what something looks like on the surface or just by its appearance. And when we use this verb, we're often kind of implying or suggesting that this thing isn't really what it looks like, okay? This is what it might seem if you just take a quick look, but we're suggesting that really it isn't. For example, we could say, the koala appears to be a small bear, but in fact, it's not a bear at all.
Yes, the article goes on to say, however, this picture isn't a photograph at all, and the person is not real. Now, the phrase not at all not at all is a stronger way of saying not. In the article, I could have said, this picture isn't a photograph, but by saying this picture isn't a photograph at all, I make a point to say that nothing about this picture involves a real person or a camera. It is completely created by computers. Here's an example sentence. People say Darren is mean, but he's not like that at all. He's actually really nice and kind.
Okay, so it's kind of really saying that this thing is not what it seems to be.
Completely different.
Right, so we've got this, what looks like a photo. It appears to be a photo, but it's not. So what is it? The article explains it's an image created by artificial intelligence. So this is the technology behind this website. Artificial intelligence, or AI, as most people will say for short, this is a computer program that can think and learn for itself once you kind of give it the right amount of programming. This system can understand its own environment and can take its own actions without being told to in order to achieve its goals, create its function, and kind of learn things by itself. So the programmers will kind of put in a lot at the start, but after that, the program can kind of keep developing.
Yes, the website uses an algorithm to examine a huge number of real images. So an algorithm is a set of rules by which computers can run small tasks over and over. When a computer does a big job, it actually breaks up that big job into thousands or millions of very small jobs. For example, if you play a video game, it's going to have, with Mario in it,
Right.
the computer has to draw Mario.
Oh yeah, loads of times.
Yes, so to do that, Mario is broken down into thousands of tiny, tiny triangles. And the computer has to draw each one of those triangles. Now, instead of teaching the computer how to draw each triangle one by one by one, the rules defined in the algorithm let the computer learn how to draw Mario much more quickly.
Ah, gotcha.
So in the article, the computer is using a special set of rules to look at thousands of images and gather data.
So we're saying this algorithm examines many real photos. To examine something means to look at it closely to find out what it is, what it does, how it works, get all the information about it. It's not a quick look. You don't just go, okay, I get it, and move on. It's looking at it in real detail, top to bottom, in a very kind of logical way to get all the information you can. It's what a scientist or someone like that would do. Here's another example. The police officers examined the crime scene closely in order to find evidence. And this algorithm examines a number of images.
That's right. Now, a number of something refers to an amount more than one or two. You can also use size adjectives with it. For example, a huge number of apples would mean a lot of apples. Or a small number of peanuts would mean just a few peanuts. Here's an example sentence. The high-speed train works well because it can move a large number of people a great distance in a short time.
Okay, so how the computer does this. It looks at all these images, gets information. And we see in the article, information from these images is then put together by using an advanced neural network to create a completely new image. Got a few things to look at in this sentence, starting with the phrasal verb put together. To put something together means to assemble it. You get lots of separate parts or things from separate sources, and you combine them together to make a single whole. So this computer looks at different images, gets all that information, then puts it all together to make one single block of information.
And we also have the word advanced. In this case, advanced means modern and newly developed. For example, National Taiwan University Hospital has the most advanced technology to help the doctors and nurses there.
Okay, that's great for the patients. So this is an advanced neural network. Think of a neural network as basically like a brain. It's a series of algorithms, those rule sets we talked about before, that recognize data in a way similar to the way the human brain works. It's not just one thing going on, it's a lot of things going on, making connections, putting things together, and coming up with an idea. So just think of this as like a brain.
Yes. The article goes on to say, what's more, this technology is not limited to faces. Now, what's more is a phrase that we can use when we want to make an extra point. For example, I could say, Pat is a great speaker and teacher. What's more, he's very handsome.
You can't see it under my mask, but I'm blushing. Now, in that sentence, we also saw the phrasal verb be limited to. This is used to show the limits of what something can and can't do, what is and isn't included. For example, if you say, like, this restaurant is limited to 200 people, only 200 people can come in and eat at the same time. Saying this technology is not limited to faces is saying it can do a lot more than that.
The article goes on to say, for example, one company has been using it to develop new anime characters. Okay, let's look at our language in focus. Today we're going to talk about the present perfect simple versus the present perfect continuous. First, let's start with the present perfect simple. We use this when we want to talk about an action that started in the past and has finished. For example, I could say, I have written a story about robots. That means I finished writing it. With the past present continuous, the action started in the past and is still ongoing. For example, I could say, I have been writing a story about robots. That means the story is not finished yet. I'm still writing it.
So one company has been using this technology, this AI stuff with its algorithms, to develop anime characters, and that seems smart. It's like we've got all this information. Let's use it to build realistic characters for animes. Here we use the word develop, which means to create, basically, to build something up over time, kind of improving it slowly as you go on. For example, we could say, the company is developing tough computers and other products that can be used by the army. And we're talking about anime here.
That's right. Anime comes from the Japanese word anime, which is short for animation or cartoons. In English, we use it to describe animation that's in a Japanese style, such as Detective Conan or Demon Slayer. So an example sentence could be, Death Note is my favorite anime series. That's true, by the way. It's about a boy who kills people by writing their name in a magic book.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
He's a bad guy. You could say he's like a villain protagonist.
Okay, that's interesting. So the article continues and says, the technology, the same technology, has been used in education, police work, advertising, and even video games. So there's another use of the present perfect, has been used. Of course, it's in the passive voice there, so we don't talk about who's doing it. So one of the things we mention is advertising. So let's explain that right now. So advertising is the business or the kind of creative area of making commercials, for TV, posters, online things, little banners that tell you about a product, all the kind of material that is used to encourage people to buy things, to go to places, to, go to hotels. Advertising could be the stuff you watch on TV between shows, or you might see on the side of a bus. That's another kind of advertising. Here's an example sentence. The company paid a famous actor to appear in its advertising. So we can see from that last sentence in the article that there are many uses for this kind of technology.
That's right. The article says it's especially useful for keeping the identity behind a picture unknown.
Okay, so people can't like search and find out who that person is online.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a great benefit. So that's the good side, but as with a lot of things, there's a kind of a downside to balance it. As the article says, there are negative sides to this technology, however.
It could also be used to create fake pictures to support someone's political view.
So would it support my political view that Joe Biden is Batman?
If that's what you want, go right ahead.
Okay, well, either way, it's a fake picture.
That's right. And fake is, if something is fake, that means it's not real. Often it means a person or a machine made it. So in this case, you could use this technology to create very convincing pictures as proof that isn't really proof that something has happened or something is the way it is.
Yeah.
An example sentence, my grandmother doesn't water her plants because they're fake. They're all made of plastic.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, you can see how this could be used in a bad way, and that can lead to other problems. The article then says, the ability to create images that look real will also change how people view pictures and whether they trust what they see. So instead of looking at the picture and thinking this is what happened, people will go, here's a picture. Is it real? Is it fake? Do I trust anything I see on social media? Do I trust what I see on the news? Am I just going to sit back and go, well, everything's fake. I don't know what to believe. So it does raise some kind of difficult points.
That's right. That being said, I do think that personally, I find this type of technology incredibly fascinating. You know,
very cool.
I'm not so young anymore, and I remember when computers were far more primitive than they are now.
Yes,
and
indeed.
the idea that one day computers on their own would be able to create such realistic and detailed images is just it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, that brings us to the end of the article, but we're not quite done yet. We're going to go to today's For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So we're going to move on from kind of where we finished just there in the article. The question is, do you think this technology is a good thing or a bad thing? Explain your answer.
All right. Well, I think this technology definitely has its good points.
Yes.
Like any technology, there are good ways to use it. However, I do think one problem that we as a society have these days is that people don't believe things. There are people who think, for example, that COVID-19 is not real. There are people who think that global warming and climate change are not real. And these are big problems. You know, they can't be solved by just one or two people. They need everybody to work together to fix these problems. But it's hard to work together when we can't agree on what the facts are and what is real and what isn't. When we have technology like this, where we can create very detailed, very real-looking images to support what people are saying, then again, it just undermines and it just makes people think, okay, well, it could be fake.
Right. Yeah, technology isn't really good or bad. Technology is just a thing, and it's the way you use it that is good or bad. Now, I'm going to wonder if there's a technology that can make it look real. Is there another technology that's going to be able to recognize whether photos have been changed or not, or have been created by computers or are genuine? Because often one thing kind of follows the other. And so therefore, the technology can kind of fix its own problems. What it can't fix, as Jonathan says, is the human problems. So yeah, technology, you can look at it both ways. Overall, I generally think technology is positive. I think police using it for certain things, you know, to catch criminals or things like that, that's positive. Education is positive, that kind of thing. So I try to look on the bright side of things. But that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. For English For You, I'm Pat.
I'm Jonathan.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Vocabulary Review
Appear. This morning I thought my cat was sick, but she appears to be okay now. Examine. The doctor examined Julie's blood test results and decided she needed to eat more green vegetables. Advanced. The technology at that hospital isn't very advanced, but the doctors work well with what they have. Develop. Christine's company developed a new, cheaper way to send money to another country. Advertising. Ruby likes watching videos online, but she hates it when they're stopped by advertising for companies selling things. Fake. This ring is very pretty, but the diamond isn't real. It's just a fake one.
智慧小补帖
Website. Artificial intelligence, AI. Algorithm. Anime.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net